What up? It's your girl Ashley. I be ballin' with the I be ballin' basketball show, and today we're gonna review the 1997 movie Six Man. It stars Marlon Wayans. Y'all know him. Y'all know the legendary family. And it also stars kadeemhardison. And before we start, I want to welcome my guest, my cousin, Will. Tell them
What up?
about your channel.
What up? Yeah, I just do movie reviews and look to the past and present, future, and yeah, I just be over there chilling, having fun. Come vibe over if you wanna learn about different people in life, my life. Yeah, I'll be chilling. I just be over there chilling.
Yeah, a variety of different, you know, videos, interviews, movie reviews, you know, videos highlighting different icons of, the entertainment industry. You could even do the Wayans family. I mean, they're blowing up. Well, they're already blown up, but you know, that
True.
family, generations,
Mm-hmm.
of comedy. So, what I like to do with my movies is if you could describe this movie in one word, what would it be? I guess my word would be real fantasy. I just made that up. I say real because I think they do have a real message in the movie. But I also say fantasy because, it's definitely, you know, it's definitely fantasy. It has a lot of humor. It's about, these bros, they hooping all over, but then, fast forward, you know, to the NCAA, they playing for the Washington Huskies, and, the, oh, the character Kadeem, I might pronounce your name wrong. Kadeem Harrison, his name, he he plays a character that has, a heart attack and he dies. And so basically Kenny Taylor, played by Marlon Wayans, has to, learn to, cope and ball without, his bro Antoine Taylor, because they always said A and K all the way, ever since they was, kids. And so I say it's real,. But it's also fantasy. What
Mm-hmm.
word would you pick? Because,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they definitely, mine was like real because like it's a real message about how to cope, you know, when a loved one passed, but it's also like fantasy. A lot of he turns into a ghost that come and help him and stuff like that. And he's doing different things with the team to help them, get to the title. What would your word be?
My word would be trust.
Okay, okay, expand
Be
on that.
because when I choose trust because the dad kind of started the movie off with that because he spent more time with the younger one, which was Kenny, because he needed a little boost in his confidence. Like, there's nothing different from your brother or anyone else. There's nothing extra that you need to do. Like, you're always going to be enough. You just have to believe and trust in yourself. And that kind of like showed throughout the film too, like trusting your instincts. Because at one point he started depending on his brother even when his brother passed on. Like, and he was still like putting his trust and belief in someone else and other people. And RC St. John had to remind him like, oh, like no, it's you that people like. Like even some of the teammates even though it was harsh, they kind of had to remind him like, no, like he's not even good now because he can't do anything. But it just shows like if you want to play this game and you in it, you gotta like believe in yourself because if you don't, there's no room for like doubt. That's, if you want to stay stuck in limbo. But yeah, so that's why I chose the word trust.
Okay, okay, that's a good word. Yeah, yeah, that's a deep. That's deep. You got to believe in yourself.
Mm,
Very deep. So you did mention another character. Michael Michelle is her name, and she's
mhm,
playing like a sports writer.
mhm,
She gets involved too, and yeah, her name is RC, and she was trying to crack down a huge sports story. Um, and Marlon Wayne's character Kenny was taking an interest in her. He tried to spit some game. So she's
mhm,
trying to decide between, okay, I like Kenny, but I also found out, about brother being the ghost. Some of these things just don't, it's not adding up. And
mhm.
so she plays a great character. Do you have a favorite scene from the movie?
Oh, when he was in the locker room and he first saw his brother and they kind of connected spirit realm and like it was just funny. I like the scenes, all the scenes where they shot it where it was like, okay, this is what he's saying and this is what the world is saying. Like
Yeah.
outside of him. Because it kept you laughing because I will tell you this, I was bawling.
Oh,
I was
really?
crying in this film because when he died, I was like, I was done.
Oh, hmm.
I was kind of upset at you about that. I'm like, why make me watch this film?
Well, some
Knowing
people,
I was gonna be on the floor, done.
well,
But the
well,
laughter, I liked it, it carried very
yeah,
well. Cause that was a heartbreaking scene because it was like one death after another. You lost your father, now your brother. Like and it was, I liked how the mother was shown. She was still in the stands. Her love of her life is gone. Her son is gone, and she's still standing there in the crowd. Like he's not trying to go to the NBA or nothing. He just loved the game, and like she's still there because it's like that's like a family tradition, like that he held. So her in the stands was just as important as anyone else.
yeah, yeah. The mother. There was even a scene where she was talking to, Kenny, and the brother was watching on Anton, and it did seem to hurt Anton a little
Mm.
because he can't really talk to his mom and say, "Hey, mom, I'm here."
I noticed that too because I was like, oh, we always think about how we feel now that they're gone and that we miss them. But then it was like, just he didn't even say anything. And it was just, they captured him beautifully, like, of his emotion that he didn't have to say anything. That, like, dang, but they're missing out too because they can't expose themselves. They can't, feel and love the same way.
Yeah, I
Mm.
guess my favorite scene would be I do like the bathroom scene. Um, when he's peeing and then he's talking, but the
Oh,
a
yeah.
stranger doesn't know what he's really talking about,
Oh, yeah.
you
That was
know,
fun. Mm.
and talking about, the private area and stuff like that. That was funny. Um, I did like it when the team was in the hotel and
Mm.
they were trying to say to, Anton, well, telling his brother Kenny about Anton, saying they don't want you to, we don't want him to play anymore. And
Hmm.
one big dude was like, "Hey, you can use me. I'm trying to go pro." So I did like that part.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a lot of scenes where, he was looking crazy. That part was cool. He was
Mm-hmm.
looking crazy because they was like, "Who are you talking to?" and stuff.
Hmm.
But I also liked when they fought, he was right back with his brother. That was nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite character? Like, which brother did you like more? Who was your favorite character?
I like Kenny. I like the main character, like, um, because it showed a lot of range. Um, I think that what makes a really great actor, you know, is the range. And I'd never seen this movie before. Because I before this, well, now I know he has range, but even before this, like in Bel Air, I saw it more too. And but I've never seen this film, and I really liked it too. So yeah, he's my favorite character because he had to keep overcoming things so much. Um, and I liked the relationship they were building on with him and RC. And I've seen her in some stuff too. I just don't remember off rip, but I really like her acting too. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
she's
I would
been
go with
in a lot of
Kenny.
stuff.
But she would actually be the next one that I like as one of my other favorite characters because um even but like that scene was really great when he Antoine was drove off through the with the ambulance and everybody else around her was like trying to get the story, trying to get information. And she just stood there like kind of knowing in herself like something happened. And I liked how they kind of did that shot of Kenny where he was playing ball and he kind of knew your intuition is people always relate it to just women, but men have that too. You know, human beings have that intuition. Something is off. So you know what I mean? Something is not quite right. You don't know what it is. You can't pinpoint it. But yeah, I like that because that it exposed her character, her true character. Like she's one of the best. Like even your homies know, even one of the basketball players know she's the hottest writer, you know. Um, and she could have that story pinpoint blank. And she had multiple times, multiple chances to expose stories, but she never saw it was really worth it. It wasn't just like she liked Kenny. It was like, no, just morally, like she doesn't feel like that's the right thing to do. And that reminded me of go check out my channel. Um, I had did a review on Black Mirror on Maisie Day. If you've seen that episode, let me know in the comments. But that reminded me, the shot reminded me of it because the whole thing with Maisie Day is like she's tired of reporting like exposing secrets and stuff, outing people and all that. She's trying to go a different path. And I think that's why she would be my second favorite, but really good cinematography, shots, music. Um I felt the emotions on the screen. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I would have to say Kenny too, because I think Marlon is always been my favorite Wayne. So
Mhm.
of course he's gonna be my favorite in this movie. He definitely
Mhm.
showed range. He said he got range. He said,
Yeah.
"Watch out." He said, and
Mhm.
this is like a sleeper movie. Um, but yeah, he was funny, but he also had heartfelt scenes, so that's good.
Mhm.
But yeah. Oh, and Flex Alexander made an appearance. He was like a basketball player. Oh,
Oh,
not yeah, and they said Octavia Spencer was in this movie, and I was like, I don't remember seeing her.
I don't remember that either. They
And
lying.
I guess she played a player, a person named Nativia, but I don't remember. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
But
that's Cap. I call Cap.
so what would be like
Ah.
uh what would be the biggest lesson do you think they're trying to get out of the movie?
Hmm.
I think the biggest lesson. Oh, and it's also why I like Kenny. I feel like I have a little bit of Kenny in me, where, I don't really believe in myself, I'd rather be Robin. I don't want to be Batman, and stuff, and you're worried. Can you go on? And, you know, you don't really believe in yourself. So, that was sort of like Kenny. Like, I can't do this without my brother.
Yeah.
Um, and I think this movie is trying to say, you have to believe in yourself, like you said, and have trust in yourself. But also, if you notice, they was winning and stuff because of obviously Anton, you know,
Mm.
and he was doing everything for them. But eventually, everybody started getting tired of that. They were like, "Well, it's cheating," and I was like, "It's been cheating." Like, oh, now you don't want him to cheat for you in the championship game. Oh, now you don't want to. But I feel like, if someone is always doing stuff for you and you don't really feel like a part of the team, because, he wasn't like helping them, he was like doing it for them. And there was one scene where this player was like, "Get off me! I mean, leave me alone, and tell your brother to get off me too." Like they were kind of like mad because they want to feel a part of the winning. And so
Yeah.
it's like it it tells you that you can go on, and you can do things by yourself, believe in yourself, and you can use the strength of the loved ones that passed as, a guide, but they don't have to like be there
Right.
physically. They could be there mentally, the lessons you learn, the memories, and
Mm.
it can help you press on instead of saying, no, I can't do this. No, well, the lessons that they showed you, you know use those, um and there was a scene where, you know you know Kenny took the last shot, and Anton was like, yeah, I got it. And then he was like, no, and that's, some people do want to help you, like Anton, he wants to feel a part of things and help, but he was like, no, just let it go. Like, win or lose, I gotta do this on my own eventually. Can't be in your shadow forever.
Mm.
It was a little sad because he did want to be a part of the championship game, but it's also like, okay, you got us here. Now let us do this. Let us feel good about this, game, win or lose. I mean, you got us here, but now
Mm.
let's press on.
Mm.
But and I also like that they said you're a ball hog in real life and when you're dead, as a ghost. And it's sort of true. He did like to, hog the ball, but that's the thing. Like, Anton had the confidence in himself,
Mm.
right? And so that's what Kenny lacked. So you could say he's a ball hog, or you could just say he's very confident in himself, and he's like, "Oh well, my teammates aren't as confident as me, so I'm just gonna do my own thing." And so,
Mm.
Kenny just needed that confidence in himself,
Yeah.
to do it without him. So, what do you think is the biggest lesson or
Um,
lessons?
I think it's a good movie to like show someone a way to grieve, when someone passes. It reminded me a lot of our cousin Maul, and like he was like, we call each other cousins, but y'all are really like my brothers and sisters, and he was like my brother, and we grew up together. And so when people aren't around anymore like that, it's like, how do you go on? Like, but you kind of just, yeah, I was laughing a lot because I'm like, damn, that's me. Like, I'm like talking to him and stuff. So, like, you ain't got to be outright saying, talking out on the street like that. But maybe you do. I don't know. But I think it's good to show like maybe you don't do it like that, but maybe in your own way you can talk to them every day. Like they're not there with you physically, but they're there with you spiritually. And sometimes in ways like my stepmother passed away a few years ago, and her name was on some type of car, some like old school car. It got towed. It was being towed or something like that. And I remember seeing that and I was just like, I don't know, sometimes they, in their own ways, they can kind of like remind you that you're there, that they're there with you and here with you. And so this movie was good to show you that like you're not really alone. And I really love the part where when they found out Antoine died, that he wanted to run out and like deal with it on his own, but his teammates was like, "No, we love you guys on and off the court. This is like a family, and like you don't have to do this alone." And that's what I think really got me because it was like a lot of times, because he really didn't have no one other than his mother. And I think it was a good like moment to really just express together because they all, grew up together. They all like hustle together and they love the game just as much. So I like that they allowed that to you gotta do that anyway. You don't have to do it alone. You're gonna have your whole life to do it alone in your own private moments. So, but it's good to firstly offhand have people with you. And I think that's an important part of grieving. It ain't gotta be for a long time, but I think it's an important. So yeah, that was the biggest lesson, I think. How to continue and not feel guilty because then he was ready to fall in love and live his life. And it's like it was this guilt, you know, of like holding over. I also thought that that moment where it was going to get exposed that, you know, it wasn't really them, da da da. I'm like, that was an interesting take of, they could expand on that in a different film, but like, if people saw like the same things that other people do spiritually. Like if that was exposed and stuff like that, a movie about that. But anyway,
Ooh,
good
that's
film
that's
overall.
that's deep. I would expand on that because, oh
Mm,
yeah, the movie is sort of like Angels in the Outfield, where the Angels are helping the baseball team. But yeah, I would expand on that,
mhm.
like a short story of like what do the angels do around you
Mhm.
and stuff like that.
Because he did say, like Antoine did say when he was finally saying goodbye, like I got a task I gotta do it. Because you don't really know afterlife. Like you can hope, pray, and wish what you want it to be, but like it's like you don't really know what they have to do either. Like when he is appearing, how is he doing that? Like we only see that first part. There's this one movie with Whoopi Goldberg. I forgot what it's called, but that's a good film too. They kind of dwell in that. But anyway, yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
all.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I think it's
Yeah.
called Ghost. I actually think it's called Ghost.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
Mm,
Um, yeah, this is a great movie. It
mm,
it has laughter and silliness but it also it has real moments, emotional moments, might
mm,
make you cry, laugh, makes you think. And
Yeah.
that's what movies should do. I feel like it should get you on the edge of your seats and,
Mm.
make you cry, laugh, make you think, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I did like the shining of the bright lights at the end. But
Hmm.
also, that's interesting. What is the brother's Anton task, or was that his task? I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. Was
Hmm.
one of the tasks helping his brother, to have that confidence, and then now I got to go on to the next one, you know.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
overall, I definitely give this movie, 4 out of 5 for sure.
Mm.
I would rate that. But yeah, it definitely makes you think about loved ones, you know, but even loved ones that are here, I'm afraid, of other people passing. And then you think about why did people pass at a certain age, or it was always sudden, Cause
Hmm.
yeah, cause you think healthy athlete, but a lot of athletes do have that problem. Like Bronny James had a heart attack while he was playing basketball, but there's been a lot of athletes that had heart problems, enlarged heart and stuff like that. And I guess my fear is like you never know when you're
Yeah.
gonna go, and then where you go, where do you go? But I don't want to end the stuff, end the video on a sad note. Let's say, hey, what's a fun moment? Here's the thing. Could this movie be done if they were younger? Because I know they're in college, but what if could this movie handle a younger, like if they were
Mm.
kids, maybe like in high school, you know, how would this have gone? Because I feel like, the
They
younger
go
you
back
are,
and then they have Marlon and Kadeem now, like build it up to now or something.
that's good, because they showed them when they were little. Then,
Oh, never mind, never mind. You get what I'm saying though, like
yeah.
because I mean maybe do ghosts age, you don't know. Or do you remember them as they are? I don't know.
Yeah, I always try to think of like what movies haven't been done already. And if they have, what twist could they do to make it better?
Right.
That's what I always think about.
Mm.
But yeah, thank you for joining me. Make sure you guys
Yeah.
like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us your favorite basketball movie or your favorite scene from this classic, underrated movie,
Yes.
Six Man. And everybody needs those six men.
Mm.
Six men gets underrated because they come off the bench. But you really need a great bench.
Mm.
Some people consider the fans in the arena the six man because you give them a boost.
Yeah.
But, I just, you kind of wonder what other basketball movies couldn't they make that haven't been done? But, like Mike, I don't know. They might make another one with Morris Chestnut and Bow Wow. You never know. I don't know. But, before time run out,
And
just want to say,
that
oh, yeah.
Millennium Tour look good. Don't let them fool you on TikTok. You ought to be glad you got some. Okay. I didn't get to go to Jam for Peace. They're like, what's that? It's a Milwaukee thing. But they would be doing stuff like that. Bring back the spring bling. I'm not saying I'm going, but it'd be nice to watch on the television.
I think the Millennial
You
Tour
know
is
what I'm
coming.
saying?
It's coming here. Maybe this
Oh, really?
weekend, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Milwaukee is it's up now. People now everybody want to claim Milwaukee. Hey, y'all don't know what MKE is.
Hmm.
You don't know
Oh,
that.
and make sure you
What's your
guys
boy get?
Wauwatosa,
Okay.
Mequon.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Don't tell them no more. They don't even know what you're saying. They don't even know Speedway. Huh?
What trip?
You gotta talk like Dick Gregory. Huh? Anyway,
Yeah. Make sure you guys go check out the Road to William, a one-stop shop for a variety and diverse, videos, very versatile. And also make sure you guys stay bowling just like Kenny had to do. And
yes.
Antoine wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
Stay balling, Kenny, and I'll be balling in heaven.